Good evening, I'm DK Roster. Welcome back to the TTT News. 441, the Carnival Series on Sweet 100.1 FM is on. And we are joined by two of the prime movers and shakers in the forms of host Mr. Gerard and the producer Shannon Walcott. Now, he's a gentleman more used to being outside of the limelight, but we're letting our light so shine before people for 2021. Big man things. So, Mr. Gerard, we're starting with you and going into the usual who, what, where, how, why, etc. But I have a bit of a make-out scene to start with. So we play this, and I come back with an opening statement.
I talk in the truth. I would like to you. I nearly end up on my favorite suit singing. Last year, alcohol nearly killed me. Nearly killed me, but sing it. Last year, alcohol nearly killed me. Must have drinking till I drunk. Last year, alcohol nearly killed me. Last year, alcohol. When you say this. Granny say what don't kill you does make you stronger.
Of course.
So tell the bartender, once you bring in mine, makes it stronger. Cause I know, last year so, I could remember. Well, actually, I drink so much rum, I can't remember. But I know I'll tell you.
Hey! Tantawi is right.
So, Lord, how you feeling?
All I turn to you right here with us.
Yes.
441.
I would like to you.
And we're starting off with this, Mr. Gerard, because let me tell you this. This makes me go back ancestrally to something like the limbo dance, where you would have shackles on our hands, on our feet, on our wrists, but all we can control is our bodies. The pandemic is doing that to a large extent and making us function in ways that we're not used to, but still we work with what we have control over. Yeah. And I see that connection, and I bring it back to you and ask for the history of 441, please.
History of 441 was conceived about 3 years ago. Out of just sheer love for carnival, love for music, love for just something different, you know. And it was really created as a platform to showcase some DJs, because we're not really a place for DJs per se, but want to create that avenue for DJs. And since then to now, it has evolved into this creative giant, want of a better word, because I just saw it with Ola Tunji. I mean, Ola came on the first episode and he exploded. I mean, there are a lot of things happening in the background as well, but when he came on, it just sort of felt right, whatever there's a phrase, and he sort of took it to a different level, different realm. The evolution of 441 really became evident after sitting down and planning with Shannon for a couple of weeks. And then we realized, hey, you know, we could really do something a little different than just DJs, you know. So let's do a whole, since we have a pandemic happening, let's do something little, you know, something that everybody's doing in a sense with the whole virtual stuff. But let's bring Carnival, because at the end of the day, we are people of Trinidad and Tobago. We are Carnival. I mean, if we don't have one happening physically, we are Carnival. We represent what Carnival embodies every single day in our lives.
And in terms of that embodiment, you spoke about Shannon, and we want to bring you in now, Shannon. What's your inspiration to really get behind the concept and say, hey, this is something I can lend a strength behind?
All right. Well, good afternoon to everyone first. You know, when Paddy came 3 years ago, Paddy would have said, Shannon, you know, you're doing this project in radio, come and do some little behind the scenes for him. And I would always say, well, yeah, sure, you know, but you know, the times and everything, it just wouldn't work out the way we would have liked to, you know. And this year he came and he said, Shannon, let me do it this year again, and let me do it. And I was like, you know what? And I just walked into our manager's office, Shamilia Thomas Ashby, and said, yeah, no, we want to put radio on TV. And she was like, what? Radio on TV? So I say, yeah, we just want to take whatever going on in radio and put it on TV. And then we explained the concept and stuff like that. And as Paddy says, it really evolved into something new, because initially it was just about DJs and one or two artists coming in and spending time with him during the course of the day. But when I sat down with him and I was saying, okay, so Shamilia, our boss, told us she could give us half an hour. So I said, all right, we'll do 4:30 to 5. So Paddy was initially saying, well, I'm trying to go manage the 4:30 to 5. And then I sat down and I said, you know what? we're not doing this thing justice. You know, the pandemic, you know, COVID, it hit a lot of people tough.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people not able to go to certain events, and a lot of people not able to do or experience or have that freedom or that little avenue to just take a little stress off. And I said, you know what, Paddy, I'm gonna produce the 2 hours for you. Here's some of the ideas, you know, and then we just started to just brainstorm, and you know, it just like, whoa, one thing lead to the next, to the next, to the next, and you know, we had a successful launch. A lot of sleepless nights, but you know, so yeah, just the desire for the people to enjoy something during this tough time was the real reason that I came on, and to support my friend, you know, and to really see him get avenue to explore his dreams. You know?
I know with everything we want to put in that hashtag big man things, but Mr. Gerard, and with that kind of inspiration for your friend to jump in, what are some of the main differences you see from previous years to this time around?
Well, the whole, I'll say the aspect of having different artists, and I mean, because the 4 stands for 4 DJs, the other 4 stands for elements, 4 elements of Carnival. We have Pan, we have producers, we have Calypso, we also have soca artists passing through as well too. So it sort of encompasses everything that is part of Carnival. I mean, we have a big costumes in the studio as well too. I mean, because a lot of things we couldn't get every single thing, not for this first run like this on television, but as time goes along and the show advances moving forward, I mean, it would evolve even more, right? It's just amazing that it's been embraced by a lot of people outside, because I've got messages from people outside saying that, you know, they love the show, and it's refreshing to see, you know, we bring the culture a little more, even though it's live, we hear live, people are virtual on the Zoom, and they're enjoying themselves, again, a chance to release and not hear, you know, about the pandemic and what's happening over around the world, and, you know, the murder rates and all that sort of craziness. It gives them a chance to just relax and, you know, just kind of catch our vibes and chill out on a Sunday, you know.
But one of the things, though, and we'll actually play a piece of it now in terms of dedication. You had a young lady who would have given a performance, and was that something, how is it that you're able to be so fluid to, okay, we had Singing Sandra transition, so let's pull this lady on to do this dedication. You just give us that idea, and then we actually play a piece of that dedication to go to the break.
Michaela Darius, you know, through our booking agent, Dominic Roy, sort of set everything up in a sense. And I honestly want to say that the rest was magic, because she came on, she said she was mentored partially by Singing Sandra, and it just sort of evolved into this beautiful thing at the end of the day, you know, because she gave a tribute, and it was really touching that she spoke about days when she was in her school uniform, and she went to the tent that Singing Sandra was at the time. I can't remember the name of the tent now. And she said, you know, Sandra was like, no, you do this, you write, and you do this, and backed a bunch of orders, and it was done. And she was grateful and thankful for having the opportunity to just be a part of her world. I just wanted to give back, and we were just the platform to do it at the end of the day.
And we play part of that dedication right now. Before we go to break, we'll return with more.
People in a 1-bedroom shanty, forced to sell on the pavement. No vacancy, no employment. Can't tell firecracker from gunshots. Blood does flow when things get hot. Afraid to look out the window to hear voices from the ghetto. Crying, crying, Lord, crying. Voices from the ghetto.
Welcome back. We are discussing 441, the series, the Carnival Series, with Mr. Gerard and Shannon Walcott. And gentlemen, I don't know if you all realize, but I actually wore a tie that has some of those, the themes, the color themes going into it. And with that in mind, Shannon, I want to give you the opportunity to gas up some people, because this is as a result. What we're seeing is a result of many hands making that work a little lighter. So who are some of the people involved in the series at this point in time, Shannon?
Ooh, that's a big list of people, DK. When it initially came out, first of all, thanks to the manager, Shamilia Thomas, for giving us the opportunity. But then coming down from there, because one of the things was we weren't able to access certain things, and we had to find a way to do it creatively and make it look good, make it sound good, make it about the people, something good, And as we started to talk to one another, we were talking to a guy, one of the engineers, Jude Rambine, and he said, hey, I know somebody, let me see if I could call him and get some costumes. And that was Nigel Celestine. Nigel Celestine came in on behalf of Tribe, and he gave us some costumes. And then somebody else came and said, we'll give you some lights. And that was Millennium Sounds, and somebody else came. And then, and people just keep coming. And, we just as we keep talking about it, people just keep allowing us to get opportunities to partner with them to make the show what it looks like. And one of the things in terms of the graphics, they say, is a whole building block of people that takes to get any production off the ground, and being the person who was behind the scene, you I get to appreciate it more because even from the sales perspective, we had sales come in and do some work on the show as well, so kudos to the sales team as well. And but Victoria is one of the people from day one that I said, we need to get Vicky on this, and I was so upset because, well, not upset, but I was sad because the first episode, when the credits run, we forgot her name. And I was like, impossible, because Victoria has been, they say 11 o'clock in the night, 12 o'clock in the night, 1 o'clock in the morning. She's like, Shannon, okay, I send in this say now, check this, and, the level of, they say can't put a price tag to that, the commitment, the joy of them working. It was never about being stressed out or anything like that, her work speaks for itself, volumes, her creativity, and I really applaud her. And I really thank her for coming up with from everything, from the logo to the lower third to everything, So, it's a whole conglomerate of people. And then, even to get it off the ground on the day, you have people like Dominic Roy, you have Janae Hira, they all doing their part. Everybody, Tyrese, and then the crew inside the production room, you have Nicholas and the gimbal, you have Brandon directing, you have the CG operator, you have Peter Bradley, you have Avanet Hepburn, you have a whole bunch of people, you have Freddie on audio. It's a whole team. And Raj, let me tell you something about Raj. Rajesh Maharaj, he came in and he would support. He said, Shannon, anything you need, just tell me, and it was it's a joy and it's a lot of joy for everybody to be a part of it. So it's not just Shannon and Paddy show or Paddy and Shannon show, this is a full-on TTT production, everybody's involved, we really want to give the people something to enjoy for the carnival, and all hands on deck make the work lighter, so yeah, so kudos to everyone. I say I can't call everybody name, but, yeah.
Well, you make me want to sing some Johnny King appreciation. I ain't gonna do it right now because that might bring down the energy levels, but at the same time, bringing you in, Mr. Gerard, who are some of the other people, because we would have seen some of the artwork from Victoria, but in terms of those artists, who would have come through? Because we saw Miss Darius, we saw Ola. Who are some of the other people who have featured thus far? Because we would have had 2 episodes thus far.
Okay, so thus far we had
No, you had to stop him there.
Yeah.
We had something in the bag.
We have stuff in the bag still to come. We can't let everything out of the bag just yet. Come on. But the people who have gone before, Shannon could correct me with the panelists. I don't remember everybody's name.
We have Obadeli Alec.
Alec, right?
He would have come in on Sunday past, and he would have performed, and he would have also done a tribute to Singing Sandra on the steel pan. We had Mahalia Thomas in the first episode doing a tribute on pan as well.
We also had some producers as well too. We had Mevon Sodin from Explicit Entertainment. We also had Advocate Kit Israel, top producer in Trinidad and Tobago, and he was just like, he enjoyed the frequency of the whole space, and he was like, I enjoy this show, I like the show, it was just explosive that the way people embrace the whole concept and the whole show as just coming on for even if it's 5-10 minutes, and they were so responsive to the whole fact that we showcasing them, It was pretty decent,
And now we've seen the opportunity for winners as well. So what's that about?
Yeah. So what we did was we aspect of the show where we have folks on our soca rave. We call it, but this is Zoom, but our soca rave. Where people get up and dance in your house, have a shake a leg, have a good time, And if you do, you could win something. We had people like Richard Cummings recently picking up a hamper, courtesy Nestle today as well too, and a couple other folks as well too. You know, picking up hampers, that picking up merchandise because we have a couple of pieces that we printed our stuff on. You know, compliments somebody busy printing company. You know, so I mean it is amazing that we have the love from the fans outside. You know,
And what does it do? And I'll ask you as you're on, Mr. Gerard, and then we ask Shannon after, to be getting that feedback real time in terms of seeing people engaging and putting on the videos. I saw this lady bubbling with a glass of wine, and then there was some other individuals. You saw children in the background as well. How do you feel when you're doing that? And I'll ask you after, Shannon, because it's a lot of work to get the final product. But how do you feel in terms of just seeing that love and that engagement while you're doing it?
For me, it's refreshing. I feel accomplished to some extent because of the fact that we can't go nowhere and party like long time, you know. So we actually bring the party to you, and to see that people are enjoying themselves constantly every time we go on and we go onto the Zoom, it fills you with joy. And to see the artists and them getting into the whole fray of things, and then hey, this was on Zoom, you, and it's amazing. It just goes to show that again, we are Carnival. Carnival doesn't just stop because you know things happening around the world. We can't just stopped, yeah, but we could still do it in a different way. Just a matter of changing a mindset, of changing what's the next best thing then going forward. That's it for me.
And I'll ask you too, Shannon.
Yes. Yes, it's a lot of work. But it's also a joyous thing. I mean, I say we had one member of the production team whilst we were doing the first episode. She said, "Listen, the vibe is too real inside of here," and she was just like, "I need to come back and work," you know. And that's the kind of support that you've been getting, and the comments that have been made, you know. That immediately after the show was finished, you know, people would have called and say congratulations and good work and keep it up, and you know. And then when you look at the Facebook, because we stream live on Facebook, and you know, people just enjoying it. And what we really appreciate is the opportunity that we could give the artists a platform to just come on and entertain the people and to just get as close as possible in your living room, wherever you might be, you know, just as close as possible.
Anywhere in the
closest thing to being in front of the stage, you know?
Yeah,
so the comments and is really encouragement for us to go on, you know, to continue doing something grand and something, you know, entertaining for the people. So yeah, the comments has really been encouraging.
And I'll transpose what David Rudder was saying about Calypso to this type of element of Carnival, as is a living vibration that is rooted deep within our Caribbean belly. Mm-hmm. But with regard to people who've been late to the game but still may want to jump on board, so private entities, advertisers, so they can see their work featured in some nice graphics, how do people contact you for the show in terms of like advertising interests, etc.?
All right. First of all, I must have a shout out the current sponsors that we have. You know, Rockworks Delhi, they came on from Jump. You know, we have South Park, and we have A&D Microfinancing Solutions Limited. You know, these sponsors, they really came on and they support us. I mean, they say they go on their Instagram, they put the pages up there. You know, they constantly call and listen, what's going on this weekend? We want to know. We want to be able to be a part of it. You know, so and then we have all the other acts that come in. You know, but if you want to continue supporting, you could call 746-5981, and I'll be able to direct you accordingly. You know, and we really appreciate all the sponsors because this is not about us. This is about the people.
Correct.
You know, one of the things that I would have said to a lot of people while talking to them on the phone, listen. We know things tight, but do it for the people, you know, and we encourage people to just continue. It's just to share the love, you know, that song with Freetown, you know, Can You Feel the Love? It's all about, it's all about, you know, it's all about sharing the love, sharing the entertainment, just giving out of our best, you know, and sometimes we feel we don't have anything to give, but believe you me, everybody have, every little bit counts, you know, and it's just a pleasure to be a part of it, and, you know, we look forward to working with people because 411 is more than just the Carnival Series. So I'll leave you with that one.
All right, so we want to thank you, gentlemen, Shannon Walcott and Mr. Gerard, for being a part of the show and just doing what it is you're doing to take us as a people forward. And we want to thank you on behalf of the entire news team for joining us this evening. I'm DK Rosta. Have a good night.